Hello and welcome to Tennessee Valley This Morning.
Get your
On
pants
WTMB,
down.
get my pants down.
Mine are purposely short, so I don't have
Mine
to worry
aren't.
about that.
Well, mine shouldn't be. Let's put it that way. Joe and Kim Palo with you. We thank you for joining us on this Tuesday edition. We are usually your Wednesday edition, but of late we have also done Tuesday. Today is, of course, live Tuesday morning. We're here. Tomorrow morning, Wednesday, will be a replay of last week's Wednesday show. And the reason being is we've had a great guests. Not that we don't have great guests today, but we had Conrad, let's get it right, Bachhuber. Conrad Bachhuber, who is the site manager, quote, head guy at Walker here in our area. And so Conrad was on. We talked with Conrad. We also had Kay and Chris Free, who's now part of the WTMB family.
Right, but we've had a request to see the interview with Conrad because he kind of tried to explain to Lucy the polysilicon. You know, all I know is that it starts off at quartz. It looks like quartz, and then
they suck the oxygen and all out and make it into.
But anyway, we're replaying that tomorrow.
Has a little bit some examples, exhibits, let's say, of quartz.
Some jars. You know, most people have like jars with bugs or jars with.
He's got
and you know, we know what Larry has in his jars in there, but
yeah, we won't even talk about Larry's jars in there. But Conrad did come with that, so that it was a good interview.
It was.
So we'll hear that again tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, tomorrow. Today though is Tuesday. Today we've got a great show.
What is today, Joe?
Today, well, let me say it's a great show. Today is Tuesday, July 24th, which happens to be Kim's birthday today.
It is. And I would have thought that this morning, that when it was time to get up, that you would have just kind of shook me and said, I've got another co-host. You sleep in on your birthday.
No, I didn't. I didn't have another co-host, and but
I planned the guest, and I
but it's your day.
So it is my day.
It is your day. You get to pick where you want to eat. I mean, there's something to be said for that.
Are you going to pout if I pick where I want to go?
It depends upon if it's not somewhere really particular of where I want to go. I may pout a little bit. But I did get you a nice gift, but you haven't opened it yet, so we'll wait.
We will wait.
We'll wait until later on in the day so you have something to look forward to.
I do.
And I must say, you look very young for your age. You look very good. No,
I'm
not. I'm being serious. I'm being very serious. People watching can obviously see.
It's coming. I just know.
And nothing's coming. You look very good for your age.
Go ahead.
And
you got it. Go ahead. You can't.
No, and
you look great for your age.
Thank you.
But
it's
not even his birthday month yet. We celebrate his birthday all month long.
Well, what we do is we start off. It used to be the week, and then it became the month, and now I think we're going to move it to the quarter. Birthday quarter starts next month for me because I'm at the end of the year. But anyway, it is Kim's birthday, and happy birthday!
Thank you
officially.
very much.
And you look very, very, very pretty, very nice.
Thank you.
And always have from when you were young. That's why I married you.
I was just a child.
You were, and so was I.
I was a child.
I was just a child myself. We were trying.
It wasn't even legal. My parents had to give permission for me to get married. What possessed them? I mean, what?
Really? That's what I want to know. I mean, what the heck is the matter with you guys? She was a kid.
I was a child.
Why didn't you say no?
I know.
I mean, but anyway. There is something to be said for that.
We weren't even a part of a territory.
Go ahead. Sure. Yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah, take her. But yeah, we were both very, very young. And we were.
Well, you were legal, and you were a man. You were a man about town.
I was a man.
You still are.
I know. I was a man then, but I've become now.
I know.
A very,
we won't even
a child.
Right.
But yeah, so that we've been married for a long time. You've had a few birthdays, not a lot, not many. I mean, not as many as some.
Right.
Not as many as me.
No.
I've had like two more.
1.5.
1.5 more. And so, Kim is 40 today, and
thank you.
42.
And let's just talk about what's going on this weekend, though.
Let's do
besides my birthday.
Wait. Not just this weekend.
Well, last weekend.
Well, what happened?
Yeah,
right.
what happened?
Want me to go first?
Ahead. I do. I want you to go first.
Moi?
All
right. First of all, as those of you may know, this past weekend, Friday and Saturday night, was the 2013 Distinguished Young Woman of the Year pageant.
It was?
Not a pageant, a program.
No, program.
It's not a pageant. It's a program. And we want to tell you that if you have not heard, Chattanooga's Catherine Ward was picked to represent Tennessee as the 2013 Distinguished Young Woman. 17-year-old Notre Dame High School senior won the scholarship program Saturday night in the Fine Arts Building at Bradley Central High School, the new Fine Arts Building.
And Lexi was very, very excited for her. In fact, she had to tell Lexi not to cry because she was going to cry because I guess they're kind of friends.
Well, and Lexi was from last year.
Yeah, she was the reigning young woman.
And we had her on last Tuesday, in fact, a week ago.
Delightful young woman.
Yes, very delightful. Tennessee's Distinguished Young Woman co-chairs Charles and Tracy Fan both agreed Sunday that Katie is a phenomenal young lady whom they expect will do well in the national contest in Mobile in June of this year, of 2013. Not this year. This year, 2012. Just 2012 or just 2013?
Next year.
Next year. Right. But she carries it for years.
Yes,
why?
Right.
Okay.
And then it culminates in June when the whole the national pageant is. But this was state. This was this past weekend.
And
on Saturday, the Chattanooga representative and Bradley County.
Well, let's say what you got. Ward received $5,400 in scholarship money plus $250 gift certificate from Orange Blossom Boutique.
Pat Fuller.
A cocktail dress from Fancy Fanny's Bridal and Formal Wear.
There you go.
Hope it wasn't the one I was going to get. The winner in Mobile last year received $30,000 and $1,000 for every preliminary award. Katie won in the self-expression category. Talent was her vocal performance of Astonishing from Little Women. First runner-up was Cleveland's Ashley Heald, contestant number 11. Heald is a homeschooled student who enjoys playing the piano, writing novels, and instructing dance. Heald's talent in classical ballet, and she performed Habanera.
Did you read this before?
No.
I didn't think so.
Second runner-up was Scott County's Kristen Clark.
All right.
It's easy to say.
Did you read the whole thing?
Clark's career goals included being an optometrist and professional ballet. Clark's talent was classical point. She performed Jamzaddi's variation from La Bedre by choreographer Maurice.
I'm sorry, guys. I would have just given him the first paragraph had I known that he was.
Wait a minute. We got some good stuff in here. And
it's okay.
Okay, but anyway. So congratulations to Catherine Ward.
Yes. Chattanooga. You know what? Her dad's a judge in Memphis, but her mom, they're divorced, and she lives with her mom in Chattanooga, and she works for Blue Cross Blue Shield. So she's done a great job raising that young lady.
Interesting. But anyway.
That was for you, Tony.
Yes, that was for you. So anyway, congratulations to Catherine Ward. Now.
You want me to just be willy-nilly, Joe?
You go ahead. You've got some
on.
Stuff to read. You can do some reading yourself. Go ahead.
Now, I'm just going to tell you guys that this weekend there's a lot of things going on. First of all, there's the Arts Festival at Museum Center at 5 Points. And it starts on the 27th, and it's through the 29th, and there's going to be a lot of local and regional artists in town. Also, they're going to have a lot for the kids to do. There's going to be face painting. There's going to be the sidewalk chalk competitions, and it's going to be across the street on Friday, I think. On Friday, it's going to be across the street, and even Saturday morning over at the First Street Square. And there's going to be a lot of exhibits, but then it's all going to move over to the museum, and those are where the artists are going to show, though, or in the museum. And so make sure that you head out that way, as well as to
Is there entrance fee for that?
Yes, it's $10.
Oh, is it?
Yes, and that carries you through the whole weekend.
So that's a good deal. Yeah,
Well, it is.
I guess we
Yeah,
need
it
to
is.
let people know that. So what else you got there?
Well, we've got the Foothills Country.
I'm being nice to you today.
I know you are. It's my birthday, so you better, so you can just be. But this is the Foothills Country Fair, and today is registration and drop-off for all the cultural arts contestants and the exhibits as well. And so today you have to get that in by 7 p.m. tonight. And then tomorrow, on Thursday, I'm sorry, on the 26th is the vendor check-in and setup, and the gates will open for the pageants and the carnival only from 5:30 until 9 p.m. And so you want to be out there on Thursday night because the We Miss is at 6:30. And then the Fair Princess is at 7. 7:30 is the Junior Fairest of the year. And then 8 p.m. is Fairest of the Fair.
Okay.
So fairest of them all? No, but fairest of the fair.
Is that really fair, though?
I'm not sure, but it's the fairest.
Fairest
of
the
fair.
fair.
Of the fair that may
of
not be
everybody
fair.
that's
I'm not
fair.
sure
Everybody
why
that's being fair
can be
she's
there,
the
but if you're
fairest.
not,
If you're not fair,
you can't be there.
That's not fair.
Right, no, but then that's a synonym as well. So which fair are we talking about? I mean,
Right.
and then there's also, which are the ones that are spelled alike, but they mean different things? That's the synonyms, and then there's the ones that are spelled differently. I can't remember. Anyway, that was a long time ago when I was in there.
Many years have passed.
And then on Friday, at 4 o'clock, the gates open for the fair and carnival, and then they're going to have contests and all kinds of stuff going on. And then that night at 9 o'clock on Friday night is Joe Collins and the Collins Brother Band in Shenandoah is going to perform. And then Saturday again, you've got a lot going on. The Kansas City barbecue, guys, that's going to be.
Dexter Thomas is going to be performing Saturday.
Did she say that we're coming? I mean,
Oh,
there's
gosh,
like 50,
yeah.
well, 60 something altogether. There's like 50 in the professional and 15 or 20 or so in the amateur. They are overwhelmed at the barbecue people, and there's big, huge names. For those of you that watch Pit Masters and all the different barbecue things that are going on, that's where to be this weekend, guys, out at the Tri-State Exhibition. And then, at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon is when they have to turn in their food. And then the Pal's Dog Show is going to be that Saturday afternoon as well. And then they have the Kentucky stick horse races, and then Dexter Thomas that night on Saturday night.
So a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And is there an admission price for that as well, Kim?
Well, Joe,
You know what?
I know there is,
I'm going to
and
go
I
off
think
memory.
it's $10. Was it
It's
$10?
$10. You get a pin.
And you can
if you
come
buy
all
the
weekend.
$10 pin, you wear it. You can go every day for
Yes,
that.
that's
$10.
right, yeah.
Or you can buy a ticket at the door that day for $10.
Right. So
See.
get your pin, and there you go, Joe.
I help
Like
you
a
out.
vice.
Help you
like
out.
a vice.
Help
So,
you out when I can.
great things going at the museum and out Tri-State Exhibition Center
Yeah.
this weekend.
So it's gonna be a great
lots
weekend.
of things to do for my birthday weekend.
Yes, and so we will. We'll go there, or I'll
Will we
send
go
you there.
there?
I'll buy you a ticket.
Good. And I'll go have the barbecue all by myself.
You can't.
stay at home?
Haha, they're not giving it
can't.
out free. They're not selling it.
Joe. I know.
They
We
may sell.
know.
They have-
We know.
I
the
know a guy.
offers.
We know a
We
guy.
know a guy. So.
Yeah, Nancy and Lily.
Well, we don't know that they're not going to do the People's Choice. That's how you do it. They have the People's Choice Award. Joe, don't you know anything about the barbecue pits?
I just cook it, Kim.
I know.
I just
and
cook
you
it
did
and enter
this past
content.
weekend. You did. You
I
did
did. I
ribs,
made-
and you did a good job.
Yes, I
Excellent
did make
job.
ribs. And speaking of this past weekend, before we get into the show, congratulations to our South African friend Ernie Els
I know. Could you believe
for
that?
coming back and winning the British Open.
Poor Scott Adams, though. Or Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. But that's okay.
Him.
Scott Adams.
Scott Adams. Hey, he can play too, but Adam.
Do you
Scott.
know if Adam Scott would, if it could conceivably happen, if Adam Scott would marry our friend Scott Webb, his name would be Adam Scott Webb. Think about that. We're going to be back with Jay Baumgardner from Blood Assurance.
Yes.
We've got Frank Kohlhaus from
Scoops and Burgers. Now there's some food.
And then we have our buddy Ron Moore be
That's
on the
right.
way. When we come back after this commercial break, thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. We'll see you in just a
Tuesday.
moment. Tuesday. Did I say Wednesday? Tuesday. Tuesday.
I'm here.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Bradley County is home to a community of resilient, compassionate families who want the best for each other. The tragedies of the April 27, 2011 tornadoes brought our community together to bring aid to the hurting and helpless. It is time to come together once more. The Bradley County school system is underfunded, and our future leaders are receiving their education in substandard learning environments. On August 2nd, you will have an opportunity to further impact our great community by voting for the wheel tax. A vote for the wheel tax will not only rebuild Blue Springs Elementary School, but it will provide a new facility that is engineered to meet the demands that technology places on the infrastructure. The overcrowded Walker Valley High School students and teachers will have much needed space and be able to use academic rooms for their intended purposes. The students and teachers of Lake Forest Middle School will no longer endure the hazardous conditions caused by the elements of nature and deteriorating classroom buildings. British philosopher Herbert Spencer stated, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." Would you take action in the name of education and vote yes for the wheel tax? A vote for the wheel tax is a vote for the children and the future of Bradley County.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat-screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning on WTMB. Yes, today is Tuesday. For those of you that were confused a little bit earlier, I don't know why. It's Tuesday. We're glad you've joined us, and we hope you're having a good day so far. It's early, but thank you for joining us. Speaking of thank you for joining us, we are joined now by Jay Baumgardner of Blood Assurance. Now, Jay has said, it's just kind of like we've talked about before we went on air, my name as well. People here just we don't get it right. People call him Baumgardner, but it's Baum, B-A-U-M, right? Not Bum.
I call it Baumgardner.
You call it Baumgardner.
Mike calls it
I live in the South.
It's Baumgardner, correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, Blood Assurance, we let's talk about what's going on at Blood Assurance. You just told us a few minutes ago that you've given away a free iPad and a scooter's coming up. How do we
iPad
do
this
that?
month?
The
or next?
iPad, here we are very close to the end of the month of July.
Okay.
And we will draw from some lucky donor. But we don't have to donate. We cannot do that. But when you come into the facility
You have to
and you
donate.
sign up, we want you to donate. Do you feel what I'm saying here?
Yeah,
Right.
I
It's
got
not rocket scientists
Right,
here.
Right,
So
but by law, you can't
Right.
require
I want to make
that,
sure
right?
Joe.
Just want to fill it out, fill the paper, give the blood.
As long as we have Joe on the
Right.
same level, are we okay?
Yeah, we're
Right,
good.
Because
We're good.
if not, Joe will go down there 5 or 6 times a day and sign up, and not a drop of
Can I
blood.
sign up for this again? No, I would.
You have to
But-
sign up.
And next month we do the scooter, the month of August.
Oh, wow.
And there's a little place in Red Bank, the little scooter shop, and they do this every year. And they're big blood donors, and we do blood drives at their scooter shop. And for anybody that would like to bring their Harley group in there to win the scooter, I feel sure this just really is exciting to the Harley riders out there. You know, you want a
wrong with a
scooter or
scooter.
Harley?
That's
Joe
right.
wants a scooter.
I'd ride a scooter.
I'd ride a scooter too.
But when
you
you
know
said-
why?
what?
Because I think that the damage, if we were to fall, the hip breaking scenario
Wouldn't be as
compared to the
bad?
Harley, right? I mean, we're thinking
know.
maybe a broken ankle or
I
something,
think you
but
fall
not
off.
really.
I think you fall off a bike on asphalt.
Right,
It's
anything, right?
a bike.
I don't know. I'm thinking bike or tricycle. It's not so bad. Bike, scooter, Harley.
Now, one way you could. No, go ahead.
But if you fall off that bike and you need blood, you'll have to come to me
That's
to get
right.
it.
There you go.
See?
It's not a self-perpetuating kind of thing that we want. That is not the way we want
Right,
people
but-
to have to use blood.
But now with this month, you wouldn't have that problem because
Right.
nobody's going to fall off an iPad.
That's right.
You know, I mean,
hope not.
Or they could they could run into something while they're messing
while
with the
they're
iPad.
messing with that. Well,
Well,
let's.
happy birthday anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm with you.
I
I'm
got
feeling this one
That's
now.
right.
One in 8,000, Kim. I got your name in there. It's almost going to be your birthday
That's right.
with that.
But I will tell you this: the summertime it gets a little slow because the schools are out. We get 16% of our blood is drawn in 9 months by the school kids.
Wow.
16,000 units. So if you can imagine doing Bradley High School, Bradley Central, or Cleveland up here, and you're getting 150, 200 kids out there, and all of a sudden we have 115 some odd different high schools that we actually collect from, and they're out of commission. Even Walker Valley down here, they will, you know, you think about that, and it's a big amount of blood. They account for several days that we need. So if we have to have 100,000 plus units of red cells, and then these kids are out, you go, well, it's just the high schools. And then the factories are heating up literally sometimes 100 plus degrees inside, and you're going to let your people offline to come out and donate blood. So then when they come back online at 100 plus degrees, they're going to pass out. So we are shut out of all the plants in Dalton and a few
Wow.
places around here that have the heat intensity, and it gets a little dry. So we do dry up a little bit, and it's hard to get those 400 pints of blood that we need daily.
And that is for, and it's not just this year, that's every year summertime, because it
Right.
happens every single
Summer happens every year.
Yeah, I mean, but we never put that together before and had that
No.
but a big reason now to go donate.
Yes, and so we have our facilities that are wide open, and they're open from 8 to 6. And of course, Saturday's 9 to 1, so you can
Okay.
come in basically without an appointment. I wish that they were so busy. They said, you need an appointment.
Right.
When you need an appointment, that's because we've had a major event. And the only times that I have seen it like that is when the tornado hit and on 9/11. And if you can remember several years ago when we had that real bad traffic accident in
Yes.
North Georgia and Ringgold,
okay.
everybody came out and donated. And Americans in general are really good in the heat of the battle.
Right.
But then when you move away and you get 30, 60 days away from these big events, people kind of fall back into the way of life
Right.
that they're comfortable with, and we kind of forget about what's going on out there.
Right.
And that's not just the blood deal, it's almost that way in general.
A lot
yeah,
of donations. And
Right.
then, it's just one of those things that we have to be reminded, and that's why we like to have you guys on so
Sure.
often, is just to keep it out there that, guys, they need this stuff. Now, tell us the qualifications, what it takes to give blood. I mean, you got to be upstanding, Joe.
You gotta be
Listen to the
breathing.
rules,
Yeah.
right? You got to be breathing.
You can be
You don't have to walk, really, do you?
Are you going to let me answer the question now? You're so funny. But I do appreciate this time, to be honest with you. This is a real gift to be able to come on and share this with a community, with Bradley County. And we do collect more in Bradley than is used at the hospital. But if you go to Erlanger Hospital and see them using 70 to 100 pints a day, and you wonder where all this blood's coming from, you all help out a lot of people. They may go here initially, and then they're transferred down
Right,
to a hospital down there. But to get back to your question,
Are you going to answer it finally?
I'm gonna
I mean,
try.
you've been going on and on and on, but
I guess I could. What was the question again?
can Joe give blood?
Right.
Joe can give blood. Now, the question is this: if Joe is 16 years of age or older,
Yes, barely.
16 with parental consent,
Okay.
17 without parental consent or older, there is no age limit anymore on blood donation. You do need to be healthy when you do this. And if you're 110 pounds or more, now the thing that I say, these little girls that come into our high school, and they weigh 112 pounds, and you go, well, when's the last time you've eaten? They go, sometime yesterday. And I'm going, I don't miss a meal, I'm sorry, but and they come out and want to donate, and then they wonder why they pass out or they feel kind of faint. Please eat a decent meal. I know you have somebody coming up pretty soon that's
Yeah.
He's got some decent meals.
that's right.
Got some
So
great
have a
meals.
nice protein meal with not a real high fat content, and drink plenty of water, be hydrated. Those are the best things you can do.
Now you said you must be healthy, but let's separate that, because
Right.
there are folks like our son who are diabetics.
We have a type 1 diabetic.
They have a type
He
1.
can
They're
give
type
blood.
1, but he can give blood.
Yes.
And any diabetic can.
And what I tell people is I want you to feel well doing it. You make sure that your levels, you're running between 100 and 130, something like that. I would say make sure that you are really feeling well and you know what you're doing and you understand what it means if you are
Right.
type 1, especially if you're on the pump or something
Yeah.
like that. Man, you've got to know what you're doing to monitor yourself.
Right.
Because it is about your safety.
Yes,
We want a
yes.
safe and adequate supply of blood, and we also want to practice safety.
Right,
Right.
right. Now let's also, because we've talked about this before, let's also talk about the fact that it's not, when you give blood, you can give whole blood,
Right.
or you can give platelets. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And what's the difference?
The difference with whole blood is truly that's just a very simple donation that takes 6 or 7 minutes. And you just do the normal procedure and it goes into a bag and it really has your red cell, it has your plasma and a partial platelet. It only makes, and what they can do there is if we were all A positive blood, that partial platelet goes into the same pool.
Okay.
So they'll pull the platelets. Platelets clot the blood. That's a good definition and it's easy. So when you kind of have a cut and it kind of feels sticky, those are the platelets working, to give you kind of an analogy there.
Right.
So we're on the
We're
same
on the same page, right, right.
So, but the platelet donation is a little different. a platelet only. It's when one donor donates one platelet or more. You can actually make 3 platelets in one sitting.
Okay.
So if you can imagine, if a pool platelet had 8 or 10 people to make one platelet, I make 3 platelets when I donate. My platelet count is very high, and they know about these things. So instead of 24 donors coming in with A positive blood, I can make 3 platelets, and that is almost equivalent to 24 donors walking in. And also that means as a recipient, you're receiving 1 platelet from 1 donor versus receiving a platelet that has 8 different donors in there.
Okay.
So, there may be some quality issues in there, but when you are leukemia, any kind of blood product, the blood disorder where you have to use a lot of platelets, the quality of that product is just extremely higher. Now, it takes over an hour to do this. When I do it, it takes about an hour and a half, but they're also making 3 platelets. So you could come in and sit with 1 needle in your arm for 45 minutes to an hour, but you're going to save somebody's life. And I'm just telling you, when you see these small kids and they hit themselves on the arm and they go, "Daddy, I need the good stuff," and they're talking about that kind of platelet, not the pool platelet. It's a very interesting donation. Some people have done it every other week. So that's the frequency, every other week for almost 40 years.
Wow.
They've done over 80 gallons.
Wow. Now, well, now another point to all of that, the platelets or the whole blood donation, you can also, when you donate, you can earmark that blood just for you or your family. Can you do that as well?
With a doctor's order.
Okay.
And I mean,
Like if you're going to have surgery.
Right.
Or something.
yes, if you walk in the door and you just say, "I want to donate for myself," we're going to have to say, "We need a doctor's order." So
Okay.
do not come down to the facility and do it that way. Make sure if you are going to have a knee replacement, or they always ask, or even for some sort of cardiovascular surgery, you can do that. But I'm going to tell you this, the blood supply is so clean and so healthy that you do not really need to make that an issue.
Okay.
But if some people are afraid, or
Absolutely.
if they've got some, concerns because about just going to have surgery anyway, that can kind of ease their mind, knowing that that's one less thing they're going to have to worry
But
about.
as my grandmama said, you don't have to be skirt.
Right, you don't have to be skirt. Yeah, you can tell people that, but they're skirt anyway.
Well, and also, we talk about this, we've talked about this before when we've talked, that any type of blood is needed. Now, obviously, the O positive, I guess.
Negative.
O negative is the most common.
No,
So,
no, that's the one that can go in anything, right?
O negative is the one that is in a very high demand because it is the universal donor.
okay.
Right.
Anybody can receive it. So if you think about it, if 6% of the population is O negative, and only a percentage of those people donate, but 12% of the blood percent usage is O negative. So when we find somebody that's O negative, we will ask them to come in because we're going to use a lot of you folks to make sure if you A positive people come in, we don't know what happened, but we know we'll give you O negative, get you situated, blood type, and then get the A positive to you.
I thought O positive was the
It's
most
the most
common.
universal.
It's the most common.
It's the
But I
most
mean, I thought
common.
that was the one that you can put in anybody.
O negative is.
Okay.
Right, and
Oh,
it's
why
the,
is
and
that?
And it's the most. It's not. Is it the most rare, or is AB negative or something?
AB negative is like 1% of
Right.
the
Wow.
population. But let me just say, you can use other blood types for AB, but the AB platelet is like the universal donor. So when we find AB donors, we go, "We like your blood, but we love your platelets."
Platelets.
So would you consider being a platelet donor? So you AB folks,
That's right.
come see us.
Well, speaking of that, tell us where you're located, again, your hours, and how they can donate, and where the blood mobile is going to be next.
Well, at Keith Street, I think everybody knows where our flashing sign is. We are open from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., 9 to 1. And the blood mobile is online. We have 11 blood mobiles, and sometimes we will have multiple blood mobiles in this area. So to answer that question, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but truly it's online. And for some reason I'm thinking it's in Union County in
Okay,
Georgia, which
okay.
means Blairsville. So if you can imagine, we cover Blairsville, Murphy, all the way back down through here because of Cleveland.
Yeah, that's and it's and as they always say, give the gift of life, the gift of blood.
Very true.
And for you, your family, or someone you know, the tragedy that just was struck
Right.
this past weekend in Colorado. I mean, there's blood
horrible.
need, and,
You're right.
and
You know
that can
there's
happen
blood.
anywhere.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a situation like that, but a tragic situation where a lot of people need a lot of blood at once. And so let's always be prepared. Jay, thank you for being with us,
Thank
man.
you.
It's always a pleasure to have you on.
It's good
You
to be
do
with
good
you.
work.
You
You
do.
do good
You do.
work.
You do
Blood
do good
Assurance
work.
is a great place, and
Thank you. We
Yeah,
appreciate
glad
your
you're
time.
there.
Absolutely. Jay Baumgardner of Blood Assurance, better known as
Baumgardner.
Baumgardner. We do thank him for being with us this morning. We're going to be back. We've got Ron Moore and Frank Kohlhaus in the house when we return after this. Stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Robert Thompson. I'm a partner here at the law firm of Logan Thompson, and I've been practicing law for about 25 years. I focus primarily on complex litigation cases involving serious personal injury. To establish liability, it's important that we thoroughly investigate your case. And we're fortunate here at Logan Thompson to have a full-time investigator on staff. And once we establish liability, next we turn to the issue of damages. Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to be compensated for 5 elements of damages. The first is property damage, and then your medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. If you or a family member have been injured in an automobile accident and would like to sit down and discuss with us what you're entitled to, please give us a call at your convenience. There's no charge for the initial consultation. I'm Robert Thompson with the law firm Logan Thompson, and we'd be honored to help you.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100. Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. Joe and Kim Palo with you, and we are now joined by our friend Frank Kohlhaus of Scoops and Burgers, located at the corner of Keith and 25th. If you haven't been by there, you're missing out on some great food and great custard ice cream. That's why we have him on here, because we like to talk about it. Makes us hungry. First of all, thanks for being with us, buddy.
Thanks for having me. It's early in the morning.
It is early, and it's a great time to talk about food because people getting up can plan their lunch now, where they're going to go for lunch, Scoops and Burgers, and dinner.
And we know
right.
we're going by there because I get a free hot fudge cake.
That's exactly
Right?
right.
That's
Birthday-
right.
That's
On your-
right.
Birthday girl.
On
On
your
your birthday,
you get a free hot fudge cake.
And that is
Tomorrow.
chocolate cake, vanilla
Chocolate,
custard,
vanilla custard, whipped cream, and a cherry on
hot
top.
fudge. There's hot fudge somewhere, right?
Yep.
See,
But
I'm getting
you
one
know,
of those today,
well, it's
folks.
not just the special birthday hot fudge cake you get on your birthday.
Yes, it is.
Let's talk about the food and of course the custard ice cream too. But let's talk about the delicious food you have. You've been around now for a little while. Folks
Yeah,
are
we're-
starting to take advantage of it a
We're
little
going
bit.
on 8 months. We've made some corrections on some of our different foods. We've gone to Tennessee beef instead of the Mexican or imported beef. Made a lot of improvements on the food in the past 8 months.
Well, that's just kind of how, I mean, sometimes when you start a restaurant that's not a chain, in a sense, and they don't have everything already set up for you, that it's a little bit trial by error and stuff, and you want to get the quality right. And we know, I mean, there's a hot dog over there with my name on it, and I love this hot dog. You have them on those lobster roll-like things, right, that
Correct.
you grill the outside of them.
It's a New England style lobster roll, and we grill both sides of it. So
With
it's
a little
toasted.
butter that's toasted on the side.
Well, now you've got a Philly cheesesteak.
That's his.
Yeah.
The Philly cheesesteak is shaved ribeye. We use fresh local produce for the peppers, the onions, mozzarella cheese, and it's all cooked together. It's an excellent sandwich.
I was at Supercuts the other day with the show that we do, and the girls were, Jen was bringing it back. They had all been over there, and they were all telling me, I was like, well, what's your favorite? And they were all, the cheesesteak was the favorite of the girls, and then I'm a big hot dog fan, and there was one that was the hot dog. But you do have, like, the best french fries in town.
Well, thank you.
I know, my mom and I are serious about his french fries.
The biggest thing we got going right now is the Dooley's Grape Ice Cream.
Right.
I mean, it's just been so positive, and it's been heartwarming. And I got to thank Ron Moore for getting me that
Who's in the
recipe.
house?
He's in the house right here. I didn't know what I had when I got it, but it's such a delight to see a lot of these homebound old people that haven't had the ice cream for 45 years.
Aw.
And they are absolutely thrilled. It makes them forget their troubles for a few minutes. And it's heartwarming. It really is.
Well, and of course, too, you're bringing in even new folks that have never had it before that are
Right.
trying it and going, wow, this is fabulous. And I know every time you make it, you sell out of it.
Correct.
It's like it just sparks people.
Last week I went through 65 gallons of grape
Wow.
ice cream. And what I'm finding now is people are buying it and taking it to shut-ins or people in a nursing home. And again, it takes their mind, it can reminisce about the past, takes their mind off their personal problems for a little bit. And people are reintroducing it to their grandchildren.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's something that's been gone for 45 years.
Right, and I mean, you're starting a new tradition. It's scoops and burgers with the grape ice cream. 60 gallons, that's a lot of grape tongues out
That
there.
is.
Isn't
We,
it?
we're probably the only place in the country that I know of right now selling grape.
Ah, good for you.
And I probably couldn't sell it anyplace else.
Well, but it's not just grape ice cream you've got all kinds, and it's custard ice cream, by
Right,
the
it's
way.
custard.
Let's talk about the different flavors and how many you can
We've
come up
got
with.
28 different flavors, and I can do all those flavors for like your son who's diabetic. We can do it with no sugar added. Our extracts are all sugar-free. So if you want a Georgia peach, we can do that. If you want a pistachio, the only one I can't do is chocolate that's with no sugar
There's no
added.
sugar.
That's the only one that I'm prohibited from doing. But we can make all the sundaes, all the shakes, all the cones, malts, pints, quarts. I mean, again, it's unlimited as far as the possibilities.
And it's good stuff. The no sugar added, it really, a lot of times when you have the no sugar added, and we've been through them all with Matthew being a type 1 diabetic since he was 9 years old, you have a grittiness or the texture, but
Grainy.
with this custard, it's got a higher fat content. Okay, we'll give you that. But when when you're giving up sugar or fat, you ain't got to come and give it somewhere. And it's really good. When I was gone, you sent some home. You haven't sent me any, Frank.
Well, you were gone.
But I was gone. And Mr. Priss, what did Mr. Priss get over here?
But the guys stick together. Plus, Frank's trying to put a little extra weight on me.
All right, well, we all are,
All
honey.
right, so there, you know what I mean? And you would be mad at him if he told you he was doing that for
No sugar
you.
added.
I can still get weight on you if you eat a lot of it.
But our custard ice cream, there is a higher fat content to it, but unless you're eating it every day,
Right.
it's not going to harm you.
Right.
The neatest thing about the custard ice cream that we have, it's made fresh every day. There's absolutely 0 chemicals in it.
Right.
Most ice cream soft serve that you buy will be at least 50% chemical.
Yeah.
Separation agents, preservatives. What does it do to us? I mean, look at what our population has done in the past 30 years
Right.
as far as physical size. I don't know what all it does, but I'll take the
not
0.
good.
I'll take the 0 chemicals.
Well, let's do this as well. You said a little experiment for folks to do, to take a little scoop of an ice cream, stick it on a plate, and leave it out, and see what happens to it
Right.
after a little bit of time.
Well, regular ice cream is 70% air.
Right.
Ours is 10% air. And if I give you sugar-free, you won't even know it unless I tell you.
No, you're right.
And I do that to Ron all the time.
Right, you're right, because I tasted the first time I tried it, I thought he's got these confused.
That's the God's honest truth, because when you walked away, he said, he didn't give me he gave me the regular. And I was like, really? So,
It
guys, I'm telling you that
tastes
it's not
better.
sugar-free, but it's no sugar added. And that's what you're going to get, and it is a great
It's
product.
sweet, and it's just,
And you can get your stuff made with it. You can get your milkshakes, or you can get, and what you did for us is you poured the hot coffee over the top of that.
Right. Yeah, we have 300 different combinations that I know of at this moment we can make. So if somebody wants Snickers and coffee or whatever you want, we can do it. And we pride ourselves on taking the time to get what you want.
Right.
And again, it brings back old memories.
It does.
Yeah.
Now you have special events going on. I think on Tuesday nights you have.
Tonight we have live gospel singers, and these are national award-winning singers. I strongly recommend you get there before 6:30. It's growing in popularity. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we have a great time. The message is great. And last week we were standing room only.
yeah, that's
So
wonderful.
it's getting to be a very powerful thing, and we've got a lot of pastors in the house. We even have a duck that sits in a bucket.
I love that duck.
Yeah, that
We've
lady-
seen
yeah.
that lady
She's
with
been
that
at the
duck.
block
She goes
party.
all over the
Yep.
place. The block
Yep.
party, she carries
Yep.
that pet duck. I love that duck.
Ducks
duck.
come, we even have ducks.
Duck. You got
Well,
duck.
and the thing is of course you can go and enjoy the music, but enjoy some of the great delicious custard ice cream or a
Right.
nice sandwich.
Right.
Right.
And that
Or
speaks
both.
for itself.
I'm having
yeah.
both. It's my birthday.
Well, and let me also tell you this. Now, folks, they don't have to necessarily go in to order. You've got to drive up where they can drive up. There's the menu outside, and they can order, and then you bring it out to their car.
That is correct. We have that. We also do the custard ice cream cakes for special events or birthday parties. And we can do them in sugar-free, like for your son, okay, which you could never do before.
Right, right.
Our food is all fresh.
Yeah, it is.
We now buy all of our fruits and vegetables from the Amish and Delano. So when you get a slice of tomato, it's a real tomato.
Yeah.
Big as your fist, red and ripe. So we've got rid of all the processed stuff. We've got rid of all the imported foods, and you can taste the difference.
Good.
Now, tell everybody that's watching, Frank, if they want to order in advance, your hours of operation and your phone number.
We're open from every day from 11 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Thursday, till 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
On Friday and Saturday, the crowd's a little later, so we're open till 11 p.m. And on Sunday, we're open from 11 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So
So
we're
he's
there
there
when
for
you
you.
need it.
That's right.
So
He's
to
there
call for a call-in order, or can they fax in their order?
They can call in their order, fax in their order, give us about a 15-minute period, and we can have it ready for you and be waiting when you walk in the door. Save you a lot of time.
Phone number?
Phone number is 473-6000.
Okay.
Fax number is 473-6100.
6100.
Very easy.
So, we're there to help as much as we can. We're working on a little lighter menu, some salmon burgers.
Oh, that'll be
We're
good.
working on several different things. We're constantly upgrading our menu, something a little bit different.
Folks,
Well,
I'm telling you, if
right.
you have not been to Scoops and Burgers, try it out, see for yourself. You will go back again and again, if not for the custard ice cream, for the delicious food. It's all good there.
His
And
banana split weighs 3 pounds.
It's
3
a
pounds.
fabulous, fabulous place to go, and it'll remind you of old times.
It will. Get the Dooley's grave.
Frank, thank you for being with us, buddy. I
Thanks.
appreciate
We love
it.
you.
Happy
guys.
birthday.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I'm getting my hot fudge
We'll
cake.
see you in a little
All
bit.
That's exactly right.
I'll be there.
All right, Frank Colehouse. We got Ron Moore in the house as well, and
If
when
he
we
doesn't
come
know
back-
it, he's going to make it up.
That's exactly right. We'll be back with more Tennessee Valley this morning after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Bradley County is home to a community of resilient, compassionate families who want the best for each other. The tragedies of the April 27, 2011 tornadoes brought our community together to bring aid to the hurting and helpless. it is time to come together once more. The Bradley County school system is underfunded, and our future leaders are receiving their education in substandard learning environments. On August 2nd, you will have an opportunity to further impact our great community by voting for the wheel tax. A vote for the wheel tax will not only rebuild Blue Springs Elementary School, but it will provide a new facility that is engineered to meet the demands that technology places on the infrastructure. The overcrowded Walker Valley High School students and teachers will have much needed space and be able to use academic rooms for their intended purposes. The students and teachers of Lake Forest Middle School will no longer endure the hazardous conditions caused by the elements of nature and deteriorating classroom buildings. British philosopher Herbert Spencer stated, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." Would you take action in the name of education and vote yes for the wheel tax? A vote for the wheel tax is a vote for the children and the future of Bradley County.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
All right, and we're back. We missed Joe.
What happened to Joe?
Joe ran for a minute. He had an emergency that he had to go take care of. It was life or death, or wet or dry, I think is where
Wet
we're
or
at.
dry one might be a good one
but
there.
we are
That
glad
happens.
to have Ron.
Yeah.
Always, every win. But we are delighted because we're doing Tuesday and we're rerunning that he was able to come this morning as well. I mean, you're a trooper there, Ron,
Yeah.
getting up.
Come on in and join us, Joe.
You can
Come on in here. Come on in.
He's going to wait until. So, what are you going to talk to us about today?
Well, I'm going to talk about the Tennessee historical markers. You'll see here that there's a nice book put out by the state of Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
You can contact the Tennessee Historical Commission, and they'll send this to you for a very small amount of money, basically for the shipping part of it, because it's a big, heavy book.
That is a big book.
And this has listed every historical marker in the state of Tennessee. And, you know, there's a lot of places that have any type of history, and history is not just these huge events. It's maybe what happened on your street. You know, the oldest house on your street. You know, the churches, the people, their places, and things that happened. And in Bradley County, we're very limited on what we have here. And I want to read out what we have in Bradley County. The Candies Creek Mission, which was a mission out here on the west side that for the Cherokee Indians. That sign's no longer there, but we have one. It was issued. The Oak Grove Male Academy, which is down on Central and Oak
I
Street.
didn't know we had one of those.
And but the post is broken. It's about to fall. The Cooper Cemetery, very historic cemetery. That sign is gone. The Cherokee History sign down on where the John Ross cabin, what they call the John Ross cabin, it got put back up last year by the Ruritan Club. Luckily, someone knew where it was, and they put it back up. So we've got one saved. The Red Clay Council Ground one is there. The Soto's Route on South Lee Highway, that one's still there. Fort Cass in the Cherokee History in Charleston, that sign's gone. Rattlesnake Springs, part of the Cherokee Henry, is gone. The Jack Walker historical sign by the dumpster up here on Key Street. Bradley High School, a brand new sign. It's not listed in the book yet, and Lee University are new signs that are listed. So we only have a handful of 5, 6, 7 now. I think it's about 9. There are only 3 or 4 still standing, though. And a lot of them we don't know where they are. And no one has bothered to put them back up or find out about them. And then I just made a list of some of the places we might want to consider putting historical signs. If you go through this book, there, like I say, there's religion and art, and there's industry and people and things. So just think about this. Just in the downtown area immediately, Broad Street Methodist Church is over 100 years old.
Yep.
St. Luke's in the mausoleum, over 100 years old. First Baptist, the location, not the building, but the old First Baptist downtown, There's another.
I thought St. Luke's was. St. Luke's, in fact.
They don't have historical marker
Really?
there.
They
and
don't
not
have the
listed in the
marker.
book.
The marker costs to put there. They
Yes.
can be registered, right?
Right.
But that doesn't
Yeah.
mean that
But
they
it's
have
not
the
in the.
signage.
But it's not in the book.
Okay.
Cumberland Presbyterian Church, right down there. First Methodist, which was where next to the Princess Theater, that big tan
Yes,
building
yes.
across from Johnson Park, the Princess Theater. It's over 50 years old. The Bohemia Theater, which is next to the Craig Mile Opera House in downtown, which is next door, Craig Mile Opera House. The Phil Building, which was Able Hardware many years ago, now where Bank of Cleveland is. You know, the Craig Mile Building, Dr. Horner's office. It's the oldest
Yes.
continuous optometrist office in America.
Right,
Yeah.
right, in
So,
the country. Now, there is something
Had the
there
first
that
X-ray
says
machine too,
that,
by the way.
Yeah.
but it's
He has
not
the big clock, the
registered.
big clock out front. It looks like a pocket watch,
Right.
but not at that. Hardwick Woolen Mills.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
the depot, which we just recently
Right.
remodeled. They're registered, but the Dixie Foundry, or what became Magic Shell, which became Maytag, became Whirlpool, that location. The Church of God Assembly Building.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a very historical part of this part of the country not marked. A.G. Thomason's house. There's a sign there, but not a Tennessee
Right.
historical marker. The old Bradley County Jail. Fort Hill Cemetery, which soon, I believe, will be listed on the National Registry of Historical Places, too. We're just talking about Tennessee Registry
Right,
now,
right,
but
right.
that, I believe, the application is being filed for that to be on National Historical Registry of Places. Black Fox Community. Chief Black Fox of the Cherokee Indian, he had a council ground down there. That's an area that's very...
Huh. Have we talked about that before?
Oh, well, we've talked about a lot of it. Benabout. Benabout Farms. Well, that was Chief Benabout, and there are 3 creeks that come together there. There's a stagecoach road runs across there. You know, very historical places. You know, we haven't marked any of these places. I mean, I got another page.
You got another page.
This is just what I made up on my mind 30 minutes ago.
Well, what about that home
That
that
was
is it
early
marked
to think.
out there on the old Hardwick Farms, the old homestead?
There's sometimes they
Well,
put markers up, but they're
Well,
not
the
the registered.
Hardwick Farms, up where there's an old cemetery where was the, what's the big one on the left going up our Anatole?
Anatole, yeah.
There's an old, used to be a Methodist camp in there years ago, and the graveyard's still there right in the middle of all that. Bachman Home was there. Blythewood Farms, Jackson Lake, Fletcher Park, which is very interesting there. It's a new park, but there's a lot of history about that area there from the Fletcher family. Mayfield School. Arnold School. Arnold School's
Arnold.
85 years old, a
Yeah.
lot of history there. The Roth House, you know, up on the hill there. You go under the underpass. It's the
Okay,
old house
yeah,
up by around Whirlpool. Well, that was once the richest man in Tennessee lived in that house, Mr. Roth, who owned the copper companies up in Copper Hill. His house is
I
not
didn't know
marked.
that.
The Cherokee Hotel, we talked about that last
Yeah,
week.
I was just gonna mention
built in 1925. The House of the Happy Feet.
That was a restaurant, wasn't it?
No, that was a little dance hall
The
over.
dance hall, right,
A little
right,
over
right.
in what they call the ward.
Right.
Bunch of penguins dancing.
Yeah, a lot of that. Ballpark Curve, down where the boys club is
Right,
now.
right,
Well,
right.
that was the ballpark here, and the Negro baseball leagues played there, and the softball leagues for year there. The concrete cross down on Dalton Pike. Reverend Mays. Have you ever seen those concrete
Yes,
crosses?
yes,
Well, Reverend
yes.
Mays put those up all around America, and we have one of the few left in America.
Right.
And it almost got knocked down by the bulldozers, and Dalton Pike Baptist Church members got out there, dug that thing up, and moved it. It really don't belong to anybody, because Reverend Mays just went along and found a place he liked and put it up on the side of the road, and they stood there for years. There were 2 in this area left, one on 411 in Polk County and one here in Bradley County. And the one in 411, they encased it with plywood and were getting ready to move it, and the bulldozer still ran over it and broke it. So, but we were very lucky down here on Dalton Pike that Dalton Pike Baptist Church got there, and
Kudos to you guys.
2 guys was working on it, and someone told me they were working on it, and Deb and I went down there and helped, and we had some people. And Reverend May's grandson, ironically, lives here in Cleveland, Tennessee. And we'll talk about that. But those crosses were everywhere in America, just made by a little man, and his story is just amazing. I need to tell that one. Speck Hospital, which is gone, but
Right.
we know exactly where that was. PNS Hospital, right down the street. Centenary Avenue itself, that whole street's a historical marker in
Yeah,
this area.
really.
The Starview Drive-In,
I
the
didn't
old
know. Don't
Starview
you miss
Drive-In.
that?
Oh yeah, that's what the Cleveland Speedway opened April 1954. At the very first race, and we almost lost that completely last year.
Yeah.
It's running on limited schedules this year, but there's another place for a marker. Judge Martin's house on Dalton Pike. Judge Martin was the treasurer of the Cherokee Indians. That's where we took all of the records for the Cherokee Indians. All their financial records was taken out of Judge Martin's house on Dalton Pike. We don't know where those are still today.
Really?
And that house is still standing. It's
Wow.
got siding on it now. You would not know it, but it is Judge Martin's house.
What about the 5 Points Pharmacy? That
5 Point Pharmacy, the 5 Point area.
Right,
Point
just
area.
that
You
whole
You know,
area.
you can do that. Century farms, farms that are over 100 years old in the same family. The Hanna family, the Varnell farm. There's numerous of those. Those are historic. And, the Varnell farm is where the TVA come in and done all kind of archaeological digs and actually took bodies and still have them in the McClung Library in Knoxville. So Native Indians
Right.
out of there.
What about that area you said that there were some stones that have been buried over?
There
Right.
you go. Right.
Yeah, there's someone told us a new name about that, and I've actually talked to a guy who is a family member, and he has some more stories about that, and I'm going to find out even more about that,
Okay.
That was
out on the Hooper
right.
farm.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
On the
right.
Hooper farm. Of course, we did Harvard Farm and the Children's Orphanage on Bancroft Road. The people, Mr. Lackey lives there now, and the Spring House is still down there, and they still have a reunion. But this was an orphanage many years ago before Bachman Home, and the railroad bridge in Charleston. Remember, we tried to burn that 3 or 4 times during the Civil War.
Both sides.
Yeah, and so there's another place.
Yeah.
That's just me just going off the top of my head going through here. Now, why doesn't it get done more? Well, we don't have enough people saying history is important. I posted a picture on Old Town Cleveland's Facebook page of the original courthouse here. Well, not the original, but the one that was torn down in 1960 to build what we have now today.
The concrete
parking
building.
garage, what it looks like. And posted it, and it was just an unbelievable, beautiful courthouse. Go to Paris, Tennessee, you can see the sister to it. It's up there. And people just quoting this, so we don't do enough to save history. I understand progress, and things will have to
Sure,
change.
absolutely.
But before we tear it down and do all that stuff, we should do something to note
Yeah.
the history of that area and take pictures.
It's hard to move forward when you can't remember where you've been and how it was.
Right.
And their Civil War battlegrounds are being lost, so many per day, I understand. Indian mounds, which are dating 400,000 and 500,000 years, are being destroyed constantly.
Right.
And thanks Mr. Sharp out here in Princeton Hills in that subdivision, there's an Indian mound in the center of that subdivision. You can go out and drive around that mound and say, thank goodness they saved that.
Yeah.
So we need to look at saving those type things. For every dollar we spend in tourism, and I call this tourism, these history markers, we get 7 back. Because people have to eat here, they have to buy gas.
right.
And just our Cherokee heritage here, we're missing the boat
Oh,
there,
yeah.
folks. Really missing the boat.
Well, we're about out of time, but we want to have you back again, and
Oh,
we want
we
you to
do,
talk.
every
Well,
week.
we want to talk. Have back about this particular
Right.
topic because there are so many places. You're right. The ones you just thought off the top of your head, and if you really research, you probably come up with 6 or 7 more pages.
Right. About $1,500 per sign. Bradley High School class, it was Eddie Cartwright's class, so it's probably 1940. Or 42, somewhere there. They got together and put together the money to raise that for the old Bradley High School
Old Bradley
site.
High School.
So I mean,
And
you know,
Old
folks,
Town Cleveland.
lots
You
of
need to-
history.
yeah, every Saturday
That's right.
morning,
Every
guys.
Saturday morning on
On
Whoop
Whoop
99.9 from 10 till
10
noon.
to noon.
10 to noon. Old Town Cleveland. Ron and Debbie Moore.
The
find out a
River,
little
we're
bit
going to talk about Riverbend this week.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, we appreciate you being here as always.
I know. We love
And
you coming.
You're going to get to see
And
Ron
thanks for
again
coming on
tomorrow.
Tuesday, right?
You get him twice this week, today and tomorrow. So, and we'll have him again next week on Tennessee Valley This Morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. We do appreciate you tuning in. Have yourself a great Wednesday. For Kim, I'm Joe Palo. We'll see you next time.